everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, so everything that I use today you can purchase from Stampin' Up through me at the address at the top of the screen, and it's also linked below. All of the measurements are going to be on my blog, which is linked below, and the link to join as a demonstrator for hobby or for business is below also. During celebration, which is until the end of February, you get $125 worth of product for $99 plus an extra 2 free stamp sets. So if you're interested in that, you can contact me or you can just go ahead and join. My project today is a 2468 box, which is where we score it, but it actually measures about 2 3/4 by 2 by 2. Alrighty, and inside here there are some Twix and some Reese's Hearts, but it is perfect for kisses or any other small candy. I used the Sweet Talk Designer Series paper along with the Sweethearts dies to cut out all the pieces for the envelope and these 3 hearts, and the DSP I put on the back. It was all from Sweet Talk. Alright, so we just need the paper, the dies, and the cardstock today. You can get 2 of these out of each sheet of cardstock. You could also do this with just Designer Series paper without the cardstock. You'll get 2 out of your 12 by 12 cardstock. Alrighty, so we need the cardstock to cut our hearts out of, which is, this is one of the sheets that I cut it out of. We need, out of that sheet, we need 3 of the Blushing Bride hearts. We need 2 pieces of a different pattern that are 1 7/8 by 2 7/8. We need from the dies an envelope that I cut out, which is this die, and these 3 are the 3 hearts I cut out. And we need a piece of real red that is 8.5 by 5. Alright, so let me get my scoreboard, and the scoring on this is easy. The cutting's not too hard at all, and you can make a bunch of these quickly. Alright, so we're going to start on the 8.5 inch side, and like I said before, you're going to score at 2, 4, 6, and 8. Then we're going to turn it to the 5 and just score at 2. And that's it. I'm just going to fold and burnish. Okay. Now this is what we want to do. We're going to get rid of this rectangle here and wedge, and then we're just going to wedge these 2 squares here and cut about 1/3 of it off. Alright, so your skinniest rectangle is on the right hand side. We're going to go over to the left, and we're going to go to the first score line and cut it up to the first score line. Then wedge both sides of this first square here, and then just cut about 1/3 of it off. Okay. This square we're going to leave alone, so we're just going to cut the side of that straight. Move over to this 3rd square. We're going to cut it straight to the first score line, and then we're going to wedge each side and cut about 1/3 of it off the bottom. Okay, we're going to leave this 4th square alone, so we're going to cut up next to it. We're going to get rid of this skinny rectangle and wedge a little bit up, follow it to the top, and wedge a little bit off the top. And that's it. Not too bad. Pretty quick to score, pretty quick to cut. Okay, so this is what your cardstock should look like after you've scored it and cut it. Right, now we just need a piece of tear and tape, and we're going to put it on what's left of the skinny rectangle close to the score line. I'm going to get Now take your pick tool and take the backing off, flip the whole thing over, then flip the side with the tape and flip the other side to meet it. Now the part with the seam back here, that's our back. So we're going to put the sides in, and we're going to put a piece of tear and tape on the back flap, and then I'm going to put one on close to the edge on both of them on the front flap. Oops, I'm really screwing up the tape today. Okay. Alrighty, so there's the back. Okay, let's take the one off the back first, and since I went over, I'm just gonna make sure all the tape is in there. Make sure it's square, and then these will attach to the two pieces of flap. Okay, and then we're going to take the front flap one off and close it. And that's the whole box. All right, now we're going to push with our pointers and squeeze with the other fingers, and that will make the sides go in. Alrighty. All right, now we need our two pieces of DSP. It's the Sweet Talk DSP, and they are 1 7/8 by 2 7/8. And I'm gonna put them on with liquid glue onto the front and the back. And I usually only do it 1/4 inch smaller, but this time since it's such a small space, I wanted the most that I can get of the DSP to show. That's why it's 1 7/8 instead of 1 3/4. Okay, and let's let that dry a second. And while that's drying, we'll take our little envelope. If you notice, there's one that's a little bit longer on the top here. That's our top flap of the envelope. All right, so we're going to put the others folded. And then put a little bit of glue on the bottom. I think it's a different size. Let me double check that. Yeah, it's just a little bit, one of them is just a little bit longer. So I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on the bottom, one, and just hold it there a minute. And that closes our envelope on the bottom. Okay, now I cut 3 hearts out of the DSP with the 3 different dies. And I'm going to put this first one, and they're the Blushing Bride color. I'm going to put the first one in first. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom. Just poke it up. Just like that. Alright, and then I need some mini dimensionals. And I'm going to put one on the upper part of both of these. Where's my other heart? Here it is. Okay. And then I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on the bottom to adhere it nicely. And I'm going to stick one in like that. And then the other one maybe on top like that. Okay, now they're all in there. Let's let that dry for a minute, and then we need a hole punch. Well, let's put our candy in. Okay, now we need our hole punch, and we're going to squeeze these together, and this is going to take a couple of punches, unless you have a crocodile. I'm just going to make a mark Then I'm going to punch. This is a 1/8, but you could use a 1/4 inch. That would be actually probably better. Okay. And then I'm going to take some real red double-stitched satin ribbon, and I'm just going to close the box and feed this through all the holes. Okay, and then I'm just going to tie it once, and then the piece that's on the bottom, I'm going to make the loop. And I always kind of try to get the bottom on the right because that's what I'm best at. And then up and over with the other side. And then pull it through, and then that way both of your ends should be pointing down. Alrighty? So one's not sticking up over on this side. I'm just gonna trim these. Okay, then I'm gonna get some dimensionals, regular ones, and put 2 on this. And I'm just gonna place that right on the front. Like that. Alright, and then I'm going to get some Wink of Stella, and I'm going to put it on the hearts to make them a little bit sparkly. Okay, and for the final touch, I'm going to add some Opal Rounds. I'm going to use the sticky side. And I'm going to put one down here on the envelope, one up here on the heart, and then one over here on the side. And that's it. Very quick and cute little Valentine. These are great for office or class giveaways, or if you're going to be bringing some to a food bank for a little treat. So I hope you like that. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. My contact information is below. I would love it if you would subscribe and hit the like button. And I will see you next time. Have a great weekend. Bye.